Ladies, we need to talk about some relationship and/or dating behaviors and patterns that need to be discontinued if we want to attract and maintain healthy romantic relationships in our lives. Stick around. Hi, and welcome to my channel. I am Portia the Communicator, your certified mental health life coach for all things life and love. I want to give a special shout out to all the new subscribers who have joined the community here. And if you are new, I want to encourage you, if anything I say resonates with you, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, share the content with someone else, and join the conversation in the comments. So to quickly dive in this video, we are going to be discussing things that we as women, yes, I have to hold us accountable too. If I'm talking about the men, I got to talk about us. But we're going to talk about things that we need to stop doing, especially when we are early in the dating phase, because some of these things can impact us negatively and the men that we're dealing with. So let's talk about thing number one to immediately stop and avoid doing: getting intense too soon. And this happens by way of unloading all your baggage on the first or second date. So how it actually happens is you begin laying all of your cards on the table and letting them know everything you've been through and how terrible the previous partners were. And then because you don't want to feel alone and just out there vulnerable without anyone to join the party, you then start running them through the gambit of questions and firing off rounds. And then you begin future tripping on marriage with them. And it becomes this 6-hour, exhaustingly long conversation that both you and them need time to recuperate from. You may be thinking you're being as honest and as clear and as open as possible. And you might even be celebrating like, woohoo, I have just accomplished so much. But meanwhile, the man you just left is thinking, yikes, that was a lot. Am I going to be able to deal with this? This is too much. I don't know if I can fill these shoes. Not that they aren't capable as men, but that was just a bit much all at once, too fast. And it's a bit inappropriate, to be honest with you, because what it all really boils down to at the end of the day is control and fear. Fear of something from the past repeating itself. And that's why you go through such great lengths to say all the things and to make so much known ahead of time. You're operating more in fear about something negatively happening more than you're operating in the excitement about something fun and positive and happy transpiring in your interaction with someone. So you think, I'll tell them this now so they can be responsible and not do these things. But again, what you are really doing is potentially running them away, because they will realize that they're being held to someone else's standard and litmus test, not their own. And that's unfair. They may already be feeling penalized for something they've never done. And for some men, things that they would never even think to do to you, or that they've ever done to any woman. And so now they've got to walk on eggshells if they continue dealing with you, because you're still in heavy trigger mode, which will make a man feel like they have to be responsible for every little thing they do or say. And they immediately start feeling like they have to be responsible for managing your emotions, which can all signal that maybe you're not ready for love and a relationship with ease. A bonus insight on getting too intense too soon is you essentially set yourself up, because when you divulge too much information too fast, you pretty much make yourself a target for anyone who is looking to prey upon your vulnerabilities. You've given them a playbook on what to do to get basically what they want out of you. So please be discerning about who it is that you choose to divulge special, intimate details concerning you, and take your time, because not everyone is well-meaning. So that was thing number one. Let's talk about thing number two that you want to stop doing if you're early in the dating phase, or really in general. But that is sending an encyclopedia of words in response to a man's text message. I'm going to say it in case they haven't or your friends won't. My love, no one asked you for all of that. People don't have the time. And unless they're avid writers and readers, a lot of men don't care. Women either, for that matter. And you'll know this is the case because after you've spent time writing paragraphs and paragraphs of things and thoughts, they'll respond with one-liners. That is your cue to dial it all the way back and match energy with energy. If a man gives you 1 or 2 lines, don't beat him at it. Give him 1 or 2 lines, because you don't want to be pouring your heart out on your sleeve and sharing all of these things that are important to you, and the other person is uninterested or preoccupied. Maybe it's just not the right time for that. So I always recommend saving your more elaborate responses for more phone or in-person conversations where that connection is there and you can read the room, read the person to see if they're available for a more in-depth conversation where you can truly share in a deeper and more expansive way. When you just start firing off in a text thread, excessive communication can seem like a turnoff. I have to say that. It will feel like a woman is being a bugaboo. Like, what is all of this? It's too much to keep up with a lot of times. And that can also include a ton of memes. Yes, they're cute. Yes, they're funny. But when it's a bunch of them and it's text messages and it's social media platforms, stop. It's too much. And I have even seen it where people have ended up blocked because of it. You don't want that to be you. A lot of guys will tune out. So go and get you a journal or a diary and write in it, because not everyone needs to know every thought in detail that you have. Some stuff is just for you. The other thing with this is, and this kind of ties to number 1 as well, when you give away everything, you leave zero mystery and questioning from a man. When you are dating, especially early on, you want a man to be curious about you. You want to be able to gauge his interest in you. And so a lot of times the way that you can gauge that is in the questions he asks. If you are telling him everything without him asking, or you're giving him information that he may not have even been interested in knowing, you are not giving him the opportunity to desire anything when it concerns you, because you're just out there. And there's no element of surprise. There's no element of pursuit, because he doesn't have to pursue anything. You've made it that much easier for him to know what is and what isn't. And while that may seem helpful, it can also be counterproductive as well, especially if you're wanting him to come closer. Now, this third thing I'm going to share is inviting yourself over, or worse, showing up uninvited. Don't do it. Don't do it, sis. And let's talk about why. It signals desperation, control, and a lack of consideration for what a man may have going on. And it's also a bit intrusive when it comes to someone's personal space. Now, many times we as women don't think about it consciously like that. We often dress it up as helping someone or saying what we think they want. Let's not do that. We may think we're helping them by assisting them with this and bringing them that and gifting them this. And while on the surface those things can seem really nice and sweet, you really have to ask yourself, what is the honest underlying motivation for what you are doing? What is driving it? Is it to gain something in return? Is it to prove your worth or value? Is it to make a man see how much he needs you? And what are you afraid of if you don't do these things? Is it that you fear not seeing him otherwise, or that he'll be with someone else? Are you trying to manipulate your way into being in a man's life? It's an honest conversation to really have with yourself, because it's critical to know What is driving you to do all of the things that you're doing when it comes to a man, especially the things that he isn't asking you to do? I can tell you 9 times out of 10, the root of it always is fear. Fear of abandonment, fear of rejection. And I can tell you, anything you're afraid of losing or afraid of happening, you will lose and it will happen, because that's the true power that you're operating from. That's what you're moving in. I don't care how many cakes you bake or how much you help and assist with certain things as it pertains to him. So get clear on why you're showing up in the way that you are, and then stop. Now, these are just 3 things to discontinue, but I want to hear from you. Let me know in the comments, are there any other things you think ladies should stop doing, especially ladies who are dating, because it could be a turnoff? Have you been guilty of doing these things? I know at some point in my dating experiences, I have, but let me know if you've done these things and what happened. Also, if anything that I have said in this video has hit home for you, give it a thumbs up, share the content, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And if you want to know how to stop negative patterns, whether it's things that are happening to you or things that you may be doing that you weren't aware of, and you want to go from negative, dissatisfying relationship situations into a life of love and partnership that you desire and deserve, book a free consultation call with me to discuss my program, Rewire for Love. It is designed to take you from where you are now into what you desire for your life when it comes to love and romance. It has helped me, all the work that I have done over the past decade, and it is helping women today. So take advantage of that resource. The link to book that free call with me is in the description box. And if you want to know what has kept you in certain negative relationship ruts, I also have free guides on my website. That link is in the description box as well. All right, well, that is all I have for this video. I want to thank you for taking the time to watch it. And until the next one, peace and blessings. Take care, and I will see you soon. Bye for now.